There we go.
All right.
Looks like
Make sure.
John, I think you're frozen.
John's frozen, but I think we're live.
All right. We're good then.
Yes.
Okay.
We're live to the Thursday Warriors.
Oh,
Are we alive?
Well, we're live. Yes.
I'm
There we go.
assuming.
Am I unfrozen now?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Someone make sure that feed is still rolling though.
I have the feed up.
Okay, good. All right. Well, how's everybody doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Good.
You've been on vacation for like 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. This would have been the 8th week, I think. So I cut it. And I think there was 2 weeks that you guys probably didn't do shows. So I think I missed like 4 or 5. So
yeah. The last
Not too
2 weeks have been rough. I got stuck in Butler one day, and then I went to the Goo Goo Dolls concert the other week. So
yeah,
it was worth it. Johnny Resnick can still sing and play, so it's good.
Well,
Anyway.
it's another Thursday, and we've all got amazing comics to read.
Dude, and there's so much stuff going on this weekend. Holy shit. So like well, first off, Justin and I are going to be in Canton, Ohio for a show on Saturday, so make sure you come out and see us for Hall of Fame Comic-Con.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. It's very vintage and stuff oriented, which Justin, when we're done here, I'll tell you what we're actually bringing. So you're going to probably crap your pants. So if that's for anybody that wants to go and check it out, that's your sign.
If you'd like to come crap your pants too.
That's why I bring an extra pair of undies. That's what's going to be happening.
Please make sure you bring extra money to buy extra undies after you spend extra money with us. It'll be great.
And it'll be significantly cheaper than New York Comic-Con. It's this weekend.
That's
also,
fair.
So
well, that's the week after. But this week is also we have a couple voice actors coming to the Waterfront and the Mills. The Waterfront on Saturday and the Mills on Sunday. And also Saturday is the anniversary sale at the Waterfront, so lots of stuff on sale.
And I think they're signing either headshots or if you bring something, and I think it's like $30 the signature. Yeah. So just beware. Bring cash maybe if you want to get a signature. Might be easier to get transaction done that way.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I can tell you that Mills Dollar Room is now like actually full. Like Justin and Todd and I spent a lot of time curating some dollar books for that. Crazy. Nice. So, just so much stuff. And then of course the week after that is New York Comic Con, which none of us are going to this year. But it's okay. I turned 41 that week. So next.
But we'll be all.
Yeah. By the time we do this next one, I will be 41.
And we'll all be listening for announcements, even though we won't be there, because I'm sure there's going to be some cool announcements.
Yeah. Agreed.
Especially after the D23.
Yeah.
Surprisingly light announcement.
Yeah.
That was a little weird that there wasn't more.
That's because they probably had this whole slate of things they wanted to announce, and then they realized they've been putting out garbage lately. So they're like, let's not announce anything. We gotta go fix everything. Thor sucked. She-Hulk's boring.
I won't go that route, dude. Oh, come on. For what it is, it's solid.
Fucking boring. Jeez, come on.
I'm enjoying Andor a lot. She-Hulk is just, I don't know. I'm not really like trying to tune in for like TGIF show with like a little Marvel twist. I'm not enjoying it for those reasons. I know a lot of people are, but
okay. So let me go back first and ask: have you read the Burn or the Slot runs?
I have not. Well, I read the Slot one. I have not read.
Why.
I have not read Savage. So
no. I meant like
Sensational. I have not read.
Okay.
But I did read the origin. I did read the issue 1 after episode 1 because I wanted to compare origins. And there's some missed opportunities there for sure.
Yeah, they kind of glossed over it, but they kind of had to because of the Hulk stuff too. And that was kind of where they wrote themselves into that.
Just seeing how they did the stuff now, and I know we're probably getting like out of order, but like the stuff that they're doing with, trying to get blood samples and the Wrecking Crew, it seemed like you probably could have still had somebody try to put a hit out on her at the beginning and take her out. I feel like that would have been pretty easy to work in, but
have you watched
this nitpicky
episode?
Yeah, I watched this week's. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure. I love the show for the absolutely bizarre and amazingly deep cut cameos and appearances of things. Like last week, we got fucking Mr. Immortal, which means in actuality, the Great Lakes Avengers exist, and that's the thing that I am absolutely in love with. And then this week we got the basically what you like. There used to be this like real shitty like D-level guy bar like that they would all go to. It's like those guys, but they're just like in therapy instead. It's just hilarious.
I thought that part was kind of neat, like watching them like kind of work like through the therapy and stuff. And was it Porcupine Man taking his mask off?
It was just
thinking of the
Porcupine. Yeah,
the Porcupine. Yeah. So
isn't the Porcupine the dude who ends up being like Spider Woman's husband, or is that the Armadillo?
That's the Armadillo.
That's Armadillo. Yeah.
But
I thought we were going to get Frogman in this episode because remember they had teased Frogman before the season started. So maybe next week. I don't know.
I got 2 more. They got 2 more seasons.
Oh, is there 2
episodes.
more?
Yeah, 2 more episodes.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Yeah, this is an unusually long season for comparative to the predecessors where they were 6.
Usually 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are all half-hour episodes instead of hour episodes too.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just trying to mess with the formula a little bit. But I mean, there are like legitimately issues of She-Hulk in the Burn run where she crawls through the book panel to panel and like interacts in each panel like that. So like the people that are like, oh, like, she's breaking the fourth wall and it's dumb. Like that's how crazy fourth wall breaking got. But it's supposed to be more of like a fun courtroom comedy show more than like or what we normally see as a superhero show. And I think they're nailing it on the head.
Well, I can tell you that's the thing. I'll pinpoint for you my problem. If the Hulk wasn't a joke from Ragnarok on, if he had been the Hulk and been, the way we know him to be, and then we did this, it'd be like, oh, that's a really cool take. That's different. That's fun. You know what I mean? But we have this Hulk that's basically lame and is just like the slapstick kind of comedy guy up until this point. And then you just do the same with her. And it's just like, more of the same. Like, I don't want that. There should be some difference there. And I think that's what really is irritating for me.
I was going to say, I see a difference of, look, whatever they did with Hulk, that's on, what's his name from the movies? Taika, which he's on my crap list of never wanting to see any of his movies ever again after him butchering this. stuff.
Yep.
But that's my take on what he did to the Hulk.
Yeah.
But She-Hulk, I think, is more. It's
She-Hulk's
supposed to
more
be
correct for the character.
Yes.
It just sucks that Hulk fucked it up for that.
That's exactly
saying.
what I'm saying. Like, I don't hate it. There's people that are like, hating it because it's a strong woman, or they're fourth wall. That's Deadpool's thing. Like, I don't hate it.
Or they think that she never existed and that they created a female Hulk, which is really
cool. Exactly. Like, they don't know any of it. I don't dislike it for any of those reasons. I dislike it because it's just more of the same Hulk, and I think that's. Yeah, Taika messed that up, but that's also on Marvel a little bit for not recognizing that. You can't just slap it and make it, it's a female character, and let's do the same thing and, expect it to feel different. So,
right.
I think it's different because this is a female's perspective. This is not.
Well, there's some really cool things with that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get like people are like sick of woke generation, all this crap. That shouldn't matter. It
doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
But the thing is, this is how women are treated in reality. We see it every day. Now, do we try our best to try to stick up for it or help? I like to think we do as people, but there's still crap that goes on.
Yeah.
Well before like anything we can help with. And I think this kind of shows that, and to be fair, this also kind of helps with some of the Captain Marvel oopsies that they did, where they're like, yeah, we hired this actress who's meh, and they're pushing this character, and there's nothing wrong with the character in the comics, but the way they presented her in the movies was kind of off.
Yeah, she doesn't fit with the comics. Yeah.
I was gonna say, before we get way too far down a rabbit hole, which we kind of did, let's go back to some comic stuff. So, over the past couple of weeks, while we were kind of on hiatus, I picked up some cool shit that I want to show some people. So first, we have a Marvel Chillers 3, which has Tigra in it, which is a big Tigra book.
Is that first appearance, or is that okay?
I forget what her first appearance was, but it's very early. It's like her third or fourth appearance. This is pretty sweet. Justin will like this. Swamp Thing 3 versus Abigail Arcane.
Nice.
Right. Spider-Woman 37, which is the first Siren.
I got that. I want to say it was earlier this year or late last year, because I got to have those X-Men first appearances. I'm an X-Men guy.
Especially when it's Siren. I looked at it as an X Factor for first appearance, actually, but and then this one will tie into one of the books I'm reading. Anybody know why this is important? Hulk 213?
No.
213? Yeah, 213. Justin, Mr. Hulk guy.
The thing is, I don't have that issue, so I can't make a comment on it.
Well, I think there's another one in Butler if you need it. It is the cameo appearance of Jack of Hearts.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. That would probably be why I don't remember.
214 isn't the full. Mm-hmm. So that'll tie into my book later when we talk comic.
Yeah.
So let's talk comic.
Stuff.
And then we'll talk about more comic news. Like we'll talk about all the other stuff that we were trying to talk about before we got on air.
I want to tell you one thing about a comic book, and if people haven't read this yet, they should go out and get it. We still have some at our store. It's Rogues Gallery, #1. Declan was part of it. Can't remember Hannah's last name. Justin Mason, who we had on the show, does the artwork. Declan was doing the covers, and it got picked up for a TV show.
Is this the Image book they did?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was the one he couldn't talk about. It was like one of his projects that he was. Yeah, so this got picked up. It's really, really fun. I would check that book out if you guys haven't read it yet. So,
can you hold me another one? I don't remember if I actually grabbed it or not. It's been a couple weeks. But if you want,
I can get you one.
Make a note.
We have a
Sweet.
I was gonna say, I don't. Is it me? Like, I know we're kind of straying a little bit, but is it me, or are we seeing a lot of one and done with independent comic based shows now? Because Paper Girl, like this week they said no more Paper Girl after season 1, and I'm like, wow, okay, that didn't take long. And now Netflix is doing we don't know if Sandman was that popular. We're not sure of the numbers, blah, blah, blah. But boy, are they really pushing Dahmer constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, just say you don't want to do the season and then Gaiman will go somewhere else.
Yeah, because he has the right to move it. Take it somewhere else. He doesn't have to wait or anything. Yeah.
For those who are big fans of Honest Trailer on YouTube, even they couldn't rip on it that badly. They even said, they're like, this is possibly the best comic book thing we've ever seen on TV. He's like, this is what happens when you let creators who created do their thing and don't ruin it.
But I'm an executive producer, and my nephew is in 3rd grade. And he has an idea, so I wanted to put it in the movie. That's how it works.
Okay, off the soapbox.
No, you're right.
I still think Sandman's great, so I don't care.
But it seems to be like a lot of independent stuff. Like Grindel's now officially cut from Netflix too. Like they are done with that project. And I'm wow, that didn't even get a chance.
I'll give you a different trend. Tell me what you think about this. The trend of and this kind of follows Rogues Gallery, except I actually like this book. Is hey, here's the beginning of my comic book. It's issue 1, and we're announcing a TV show, Berserker. We're announcing a TV show, 8 Billion Genies, and it's stuff that nobody gives a crap about, but it's flying off the shelf because they announce a TV show the same time that the issue 1 comes out. Nobody's buying Berserker anymore. Like I had so many people buying it for issue 1, 2, and 3, and now I maybe have 3 or 4 people that buy Berserker. You know,
I actually like the story of Berserker. Actually.
No, it's good. That's the problem. Is like it's pushing these people to come out and just buy the book and suck up all of the copies so they can flip them and make money off of it because there's a TV show attached to it. But the people that want to get it and enjoy it aren't getting it. And Berserker is a great story. So
and it's again
just
a Keanu Reeves.
More people
project.
Should pre-order. That's all.
Yeah,
and they should not pre-order like the week it comes out. They should pre-order like when it's announced.
They should pre-order on Comic Hub using the FOC. What's it? How's it worded on Comic Hub? Last call for confirmed orders. Yeah, so you should use that if you can on Comic Hub.
And that folks is our shameless plug for the day. Yay.
Yes. Oh no, I have tons of shame. I don't mind. All right, so do we want to start comics?
Yeah, you guys start. I'm I'm actually gonna try something while you guys are doing that.
Well, Tim, since you're coming back, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me see.
Tim gets to go first.
I think I'm gonna start with. I did Superman Space Age 2. I did Detective 1064, and I did Old Dog. And I think I'm gonna start with Superman because this series is probably the best DC series that I've read in like 15 years. This series is absolutely amazing.
It's by the Allreds. Rock and roll.
And if you love Christopher Reeve's Superman and everything that stood for, and hope, and even hope in the face of, impending doom, this is a great book for you. First of all, the artwork's obviously amazing. This is an 86-page book This is book 2. It's $10. Yeah, so you're talking like this is almost a whole series in one book. And in the first one, Superman finds out from Pariah, who he thinks is just a drunk guy at a bar, that the world's going to end. And in this book, they're putting together the Justice League, and it's kind of going through the years from, all the way back to the beginning up through the 80s in this issue. There's some really amazing things, Superman and Batman kind of talking about the whole trolley scenario. There's 3 people tied to a track, and one, you could save them by switching the track, but if you switch the track, it would kill the other guy. There's one guy on the other track. What do you do? And Batman's like, you switch it, or you don't switch it, and you let the 3 people die because you don't want to let the villain have their way. Something along those lines. And Superman says, you try to save everybody, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be able to save everybody, but trying is what matters, and giving people hope. He says at one point something along the lines of how hope is a lie that we turn into a truth. And I thought that was a really cool line. There's also some really cool things, like you find out that Lois is the reporter that broke the Watergate scandal. There's only one bar that Clark will go to in Metropolis because it serves milk. And it's the only one that serves milk. And it just so happens to be named the Seagull, which is right next to the shoe store. Siegel and Schuster. And I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah. So overall, like, this is a fun book that's filled with hope. It's filled with lots of energy. And I think if you're somebody that craves older DC, even all the way up through before New 52, that this is a book for you. I always felt like after once New 52 hit, it's kind of never been the same. We've got good stories, but not as solid. I think things were better before New 52 overall. So, but that's
I would say they were more solid.
Yeah,
and then I thought the New 52 in itself was very solid. But since they've come back, it hasn't been as solid as either of them.
I thought New 52, we had some solid stories, but I didn't think it was very solid, front to back. And I thought Rebirth was good when it first came, and then about like 30 issues in for most things, no, just kind of everything kind of died, especially with Batman and Tom King on Batman. I can't stand.
You still upset about that?
I just hate him.
You were complaining about that like when he was writing it like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
you're still complaining about it.
Hey, some people just don't think something. It's okay.
Well, am I just going all 3? I can't remember how we do this.
Go ahead.
Usually we rotate around, but you can.
Okay. No. We'll do it. All right.
Okay.
So Justin, you're going next, and what book are you doing?
Well, let's go with the series that I've been like surprisingly having fun with is the new Ant-Man series, number 3.
Yeah. Ant-Man number 3.
Again, I love these covers. They're old school and new school at the same time. I love it. And that's probably what draws me to it. Plus I'm an Ant-Man fan too. So, but this is again, the issue again centers around this new Ant-Man going through. This has got to be a quantum realm thing. This has got to be like the opening of how they're going to do it in the movies, because he's going through time. He's meeting various different Ant-Mans. You got different variations. There's like this one, you get to meet a robotic android Ant-Man. I mean, it's
Ant-Man.
Yeah. So he's the we call him electric ant? Yeah, the electric ant, I think they call him. It's again, this has been like 48 hours since I read this thing, so my memory's a little but then the next halfway through the book, they're going through this storyline of Hank Pym has been either he was taken over by Ultron or he completely snapped and his personality is like Ultron. Something along that line. And the Avengers have him encased in a protective tomb almost with an Asgardian runes all around it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, I like this. This is some good comic book curveball crap they're throwing at you that you normally don't see in a lot of the Ant-Man stuff. This is very more Avengers-esque, and I'm happy with it. Eventually, at the end, you actually get to meet All-Father Ultron.
Yes.
And I'm like, holy shit. I was like, that's cool. Okay, I want to see what happens next issue. Like this series has got me hooked with the introductions of various Ant-Man, all these different like scenarios. This new Ant-Man's kind of bringing through different time. I'm assuming there are multiple different timelines because he's still searching for something. You just don't know what exactly. You get little bits and clues here and there, but it's like really tight. He's like really tight lipped, doesn't want to disrupt the timelines, and it's definitely got me excited. If they do this in the movies, I'm all for it. Give me all that. I'm cool with that. Because at least it will help deal with all the stuff that we're complaining about now. They're like, oh yeah, this is separate. This is 673 universe, and none of this crap actually exists. Like 616.
I want Ant 3.
Yeah.
I want Ant Father.
I haven't read this issue yet, but I finished the first two. I picked this one up when we were checking in books, and as everybody that's watching, which is just Ron, knows, I always flip to the last page of a book in case I die on the way home. So I flip to it, and it says All Father Ultron, and I chuckled out loud in the story, and it just kind of echoed. But yeah, that was a pretty cool moment.
All right.
Which one you want to do, John?
Let's do Briar first.
Briar. This is the story of Sleeping Beauty, right?
Sort of. So this book is by Christopher Cantwell, who's coming off of Iron Man here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And Jermaine Garcia is the artist. And it's kind of like a sister book for people who like Once and Future, is how I will pitch this.
It looks very close to that art style. So
yes, it does. It does start out with Briar Rose's story, who would be Sleeping Beauty, except it changes when Prince Charming tries to wake her. Her father instead just says, "Why don't you marry her without actually waking her, and then we'll just kick everyone's ass and rule everyone." But that backfires and they die, like all of them. So she sleeps for like 100 years, and someone wakes her up, and she goes off to try to see who did that. But because she's been sleeping for 100 years, she's extremely dehydrated. So she like drinks water from a stream and looks less like a zombie, and tries to go to find like an old watchtower, only to find a giant rat, which is very Princess Bridey, which I enjoyed. And then so she kills the giant rat and uses it as turns it into like a cloak, basically. Goes to the nearest town, into the bar. Her whole family, there's no king or queen anymore. And the bartender tricks her into basically being sold into slavery. And she's in there with a drow, because it's the ice blooded. That's what I think they're called. And they get transported. Crazy shit happens in the desert. All kinds of fights happen. Then you find out that someone actually married her somehow. And this kind of goblin looking dude ends up killing himself, and they kind of go off into the desert. But they show you the whole map of the what was Kingdom, I guess, once Thistlewind. And then there's Thistlehaven and a couple other different places that have been changed around. But it's very much so similar vein to Once and Future, so I really enjoyed it. But that's kind of the deal. I just hope everybody else checked it out. It was very fun and good.
I have it. I just need to read it.
Yeah. If nothing else, check it out for the art, because the art's phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess it's my turn, huh?
Go, Tim, go.
Geez.
Go. You can do it.
Let's see.
It's a little rusty.
This one will be quick, because this is Detective Comics 1064, and I jumped on this for one reason, because I thought these covers were sick. I was like, these covers are awesome. This is 1062 was the first cover with this new Detective Comics logo.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a Stephen King kind of tribute, is what the graphic designer said. The story,
it's very Stranger Things too.
Well, and that's what he said. And he said people were saying that he copied Stranger Things, and he's like, it's a Stephen King tribute, and a lot of people don't realize that so is the Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But this book is very weird, and in a good way. There's a lot of things that are going on. There's another family that somehow owns Gotham, and they have the deed to Gotham that was signed over by I can't remember Arkham's first name. I want to say it's Morin or something along those lines. But that's the only kind of thing that's a little weird to me, is always these secret families and somebody, who's in charge of Gotham, and these underworld kind of families. And it seems a little unoriginal at times. But it's very hard for me to gauge how I feel about this book, because it's kind of been all over the place. The first issue kind of set up that Batman has an issue. He doesn't understand. His body seems to be failing him at times. In this issue, the doctor explains to him that, do you ever think that maybe you're having panic attacks? In the second issue, it's very much a Harvey Dent story, who has been cured. And this is the story of somebody trying to bring him back down and bring Two-Face back out. And then this third story is very much about this family that is crossing the ocean and coming into Gotham. I guess they're going to take their place as the true owners of Gotham. And then there's a little bit of Talia in the story. Okay. The writing is good. There's some really cool little stories that he tells. This is Ram V that he tells in each issue. That they're very world building kind of stories, like folklore. But after 3 issues, like I still don't really know where they're going. So it's interesting because it keeps me wanting to read it, but like to the point where I'm going, well, I don't know how to review that. I don't know. I guess just get it and try it because the art's really good and the story's kind of fun. So,
well, Raphael Albuquerque's art has to be amazing on the inside.
Yeah.
So,
if you've read American Vampire, anybody that. So,
yeah, like him and Ben Templesmith is like the 2 guys that did most of it, right? Or no, sorry, Templesmith did 30 Days and Nights on that. So, yeah,
Still
you're right.
Vampire.
Yeah.
I got them mixed up in my head. I didn't want people to go out there and think that Raphael Albuquerque did 30 Days.
What do you want to do next, Justin?
Let's do Grimm number 5.
I'm so excited to hear you talk about this because this is like one of my favorite books right now.
I was gonna say I got caught up. Well, sort of. I still haven't read number 1 because I can't find it anywhere. So
I'll send you one. We have a bunch.
I will gladly take that then. But I've read 2 through 4. So 2 through 5 now. So and I love this cover. Like again, Boom Studios with their amazing artists they seem to be getting. Love it. So last issue continues exactly where it did. They're in the Grim Reapers that are trying to find Death, find him in Vegas. He's in a hotel. You get the backstory about Death, and the what's the mistress's name? Or not mistress. It turns out the lady that is trying to take over the Grim Reapers is Death's sister, who had her power stripped by Death himself because apparently just sibling rivalry bullcrap started a war that almost ended humanity. A little bit of backstory there. Yeah, as all sibling rivalries do, just ask my mother and father about the how me and my sister used to battle each other. But the main character here finds out that she is Death's daughter, who is not only Grim Reaper, but she is also human. That is why she is different from every other Grim Reaper. They are just souls. She's part human and not just ghost.
Is that what lets her, because I can't remember if it was the first or the second issue where she has her scythe stolen and then she chases the guy and she ends up being able to go out into the real world and is seen.
Yes.
So that's the reason.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
And you don't know, Death does not reveal who her mother is. But the end, this entity, this like killing thousands of people and souls, that's trying to bring about basically an Armageddon of sorts. Him and Death have this big fight in the book. Ultimately, Death wins, but Death dies.
Sorry.
So he's literally in one page, and then he's done. Then they they come out and they're like, well, you killed Death, so it's your fault. So her and her 2 buddies are now exiled just like Death was. Death's sister takes his scythe, and now she has her powers back. So that's the end of the first arc of this story. I tell you what, it's a pretty quick arc for 5 issues.
Yeah.
A lot of action, a lot of backstory.
The art's so gorgeous, it just like reads really quick.
Yeah, it's very smooth. Yeah. So it's this is one of those like this and Once and Future are definitely going to be my go-tos for my independence reads.
Yeah.
So
Boom Studios has a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
I think
my
they're
one
slowly
question,
overtaking where Image used to be like the top independent
yeah,
company. I would gotta say right now, I would put
I mean, they're
Boom
definitely giving them a
over
run for their
Image.
money for
Yeah.
sure. Now, here's my question about this issue. If she's Death's daughter, does that mean, because the whole thing at the beginning was everybody had a story on how they died and became a Grim Reaper.
Yes.
But she didn't know how she died.
Yes.
So does that mean she never died? She was just born as one?
They
They
never
know.
reveal that.
Okay.
That's gotta be something probably for the next arc, I imagine.
That's the way it's kind of sounding, because if Death was somebody that was this kind of thing that's just existed since time,
yeah,
and then he, is hiring essentially after you die more Grim Reapers, then
which
that
I
would be
have
my
to say, I
thinking.
love the way each Creeper is unique in their
Yeah.
own way until they power up, so to speak.
Yeah.
When they get the skulls, and they each has
Yeah.
a different stylistic skull, and I
Yep.
love that. I almost want to make that one of my next tattoos down the line. I may have to get like a grim skull from the
Yeah.
series tattooed on me. So if that tells
As
you
long as
anything.
it's not a Punisher skull, we'll be okay.
Oh,
But-
yeah, no, thank you. I'm not that
John,
way, John.
Are you? You're doing She-Hulk next, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
She-Hulk 6.
All right.
So this book is still really, really well done. If you like the show, you'll probably like the book because it kind of reads in a similar fashion. But this one starts out with Jen and Patsy Walker going to get cakes in fancy dresses, because it is Eat Cakes and Fancy Dresses Wednesday, which is just a day that they chose to do. And Patsy hands over a file containing the Jack of Hearts from the Avengers stuff. Then She-Hulk goes to work, and Mallory Book, who is one of her old nemesis, is Nemesis, Nemesis. She comes back, and Mallory's mad because there's someone in her office, and she specifically told Jen that she doesn't want super powered clientele. She just wanted to be a regular lawyer, and it's Nightcrawler. And Nightcrawler is basically like, yeah, like all of Krakoa needs you. And they're like, what? And they're like, there's some, like, we've got immigration issues, residency issues, voting right complaints. Scott spent so much time on Krakoa, the state of Connecticut won't let him renew his driver's license. So she's now going to represent all of mutant kind. So she walks Nightcrawler out and then goes to talk to Mallory, and Mallory is still pissed, and she basically says, like, I didn't want this. I just wanted to be a normal lawyer again. Then you find out that she's also dating the secretary, who is Awesome Andy, who is basically has a giant blockhead and like a chalkboard thing around his neck that he writes whatever he needs to write. But then when she tells him that she booked all of Krakoa, she's like, sure, that's a gold mine. Let's do it. So Jen goes home. Jack of Hearts realizes, who's been living with her, realizes that no one ever touched his money because they never reported him as dead. So he's had like money just sitting there, and his dad's estate paid for a house. So he basically is like totally well off. He makes Jen lasagna, and then they kind of just talk about some stuff where Jack of Hearts basically is no longer radioactive. They don't know what's going on, and then they go into the boudoir at the end. So there's a lot of humor in there. There's a lot of fun, exciting times. The conversation with Nightcrawler is hilarious. The conversation with Jack of Hearts is like really actually kind of moving, for someone who came back to life. So, but I definitely recommend this book. I've loved this book since it came out. Weirdly, no fourth wall breaks, but whatever. I'm okay with it. But it's good. Like, it's got enough lawyery stuff in it to be She-Hulky, and it's got enough Hulk action stuff in it. Because it's like every other book. Like, one book's like very action, the next book's very lawyer. So it goes back and forth and it balances out very well. And all these Jen Bartel covers are just freaking amazingly sexy. So yeah, that's all I got.
They did a episode of Saturday Night Live where Alec Baldwin was on. I think it was like he was getting like his 10-time jacket. They have like the 5-time members club, and he comes on, and Steve Martin starts to walk up because he's also been in that club. And Alec Baldwin says, he's like, "Oh, if it isn't my nemesis, Steve Martin." And Steve Martin goes, "Oh, Alec," he's like, "you don't even know how to pronounce the word nemesis." So that was what I was thinking the whole time.
That's hilarious. Nemesis.
Nemesis. Parmesan. If you've been watching the new season of Rick and Morty, Parmesan.
No, I have not. I have to catch up on
that. Okay. So this is my last one. This is Old Dog. This is our buddy Declan. This is his book. This book is really, really cool. So he's an kind of CIA agent. He's not really happy with like how his life went. He doesn't think that he was the best. He has regrets about, did he help anybody, things like that. And he's now old. He's at the end of his career, and he's basically sitting in a van while these other two guys are sitting with him, and they're kind of watching a spot. They're waiting for something to happen. Something happens. The two guys rush in, and they're like, "Stay here," because he's old and useless at this point to them. "Stay here. Don't do anything. Don't go anywhere." And they go in. They're gone for a while. He goes in after him. One's dead. The other one's bleeding out, holding his neck. Tells him to call for backup. I want to say his last name's Lynch. I want to say it's Jake Lynch, but I could be wrong about the first name. He goes in to where the guy they were following is at, and there's this gigantic machine. And he tells us it kind of looks like a time machine, sort of. At least what you would think of.
You're a time machine.
I am.
What?
I wish I'd go back and get my hair. So he tells him to stop. He shoots the machine. It explodes, and he wakes up in the hospital. When he looks in the mirror, he's younger. And then he's having flashbacks. At least that's kind of how it comes across. He's having flashbacks of something that he did when he was younger. And in the flashbacks, he's older. So I don't know necessarily. I think that's part of the mystery of this, is somehow he has taken his entire life throughout all of time and kind of merged it. And at any point he's getting any different, age for him, which, not a baby. If it was a Marvel movie, they do as a baby, but Declan writes a little darker than that. But it's very interesting.
Sounds very Sin City, which is kind of what makes me interested in it.
Well, yeah, and he has that kind of like not super noir type, but similar, like an art style like that. He likes to use, like you just saw on that cover, kind of like that gray wash. He uses a lot of that, and then like, bam, here's this big bright color behind it to kind of like just pull it forward. It's a very fun book, and I'm very intrigued as to where this is going and what actually is going on with this guy, this old dog. So I would check this out. He's been working on this one for a while.
Rock and roll.
Nice.
Swallow. That's how quiet it was. You could hear.
Wow. I just want to tell you guys, like, while you were doing your first book, I found on my YouTube app our channel, so I have it streaming on my TV, and like our cameras all suck, but man, do those covers look glorious on a big fucking TV.
That's because I get high res covers. And while you were doing your first book, I was listening attentively to every detail. But I guess I'm just that kind of guy.
All right.
Go, Justin. I think you have a book or something.
I had to make sure when it was my turn.
Yep. Yeah, this will be my last book here. The Batman Beyond the White Knight. I'm really enjoying like all of the Sean Murphy Beyond Night. Mm-hmm. Every one of the series is solid. The first was great. The second one was good. This is back up the grade again. Like that, I'm very excited with the Terry McGinnis now entering the fray. And this was an interesting book because the dynamic between Jack Napier / Joker, because now he's like half and half somehow. Because now he's half insane and half not sane. It's an interesting dynamic, and I love this world of Batman. If they make a movie out of this Beyond universe, I'm kind of cool with it. Like the White Knight universe, I should say. I think this would be an excellent TV series, but I think this would be an excellent movie series too. So
yeah, I agree.
Warner Brothers would probably ruin it. But
let's let them get their feet under
going back and digging through all their old shit, so they're probably going to do another Michael Keaton Batman. Just saying.
But I'm enjoying this. You find out who, like, they figure out who Terry McGinnis is, that he's in the new suit, what's his name? It's basically like Batman Beyond, the cartoon series where he kills his father all over again. So Terry ends up freaking out and
you're talking about Derek
Powers.
Yeah, Powers.
Okay, that's mind. He gets like doused with chemicals, so he's now
Blight.
Yeah, Blight. So now you get Blight in the universe now. But something weird happens with Joker and Batman where I don't know if he switches bodies with them or something. It's like really odd. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if this is Joker's power or something. I don't know. But I don't know who's in whose body. I was trying to figure that out as I was reading it. But you finally see like Harley in love with, she's been in love with Bruce pretty much the whole time here, even though was with Joker from the first series. But the whole book ends with them embracing and kissing, and you see the shadow, which is probably the best part of the back the last page is you see Harley with the little hat, the jester hat, and Batman with the little cowl in the shadows as they embrace, kiss, and I thought that was kind of cool. But I can't wait.
When we talked about when we talked about the first two issues of this, like we really definitely noticed that.
Like every panel that he had him in, we loved it. Yeah.
So I'm pretty positive it's Bruce, and it's like Joker put some kind of device in him to do something. Like it was something
with his anxiety or something. He was having anxiety attacks. So this kind of deals with what you were talking about with current Batman having anxiety issues. Apparently, this shows up in this world as well. So,
well, how crazy would it be if it was like, because the Joker said he did something to Batman, to I don't know, put his consciousness or something along those lines in there, and he's talking to him.
Kind of reminds me of the Batman Beyond movie where they had the nanites put Joker's personality into Tim Drake, and
that's a good point.
You get the Joker in a young Joker in the Batman Beyond future. So I could see where they were taking all the mythos from Batman Beyond, which is one of my favorite areas of Batman, like one of my favorite story arcs of Batman, and putting it in this book here. So I'm digging it. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait for the next book's gonna be the last book, I think. Because isn't it always
7?
6? Oh,
is it only 6?
I know the first 2 series are only 6, I think.
I'm pretty sure
one was 7.
Came out this week, actually.
No, this week's was 5.
This week's was 5. I know that, but
the thing that I was thinking about was when you were talking about that was that it would be interesting if the Joker is kind of slowly. Yeah, it's a great cover. Is slowly kind of like forcing his way to the foreground in Bruce, and eventually it would drive him nuts to where Batman would be the Joker, and I think that would be a really interesting twist.
That'd be kind of a cool thing. Yeah,
great way to end the series as a whole. Just leave it at that. But then they'd be like, "Oh, here we're gonna have Tim's favorite Batman, the Batman who laughs."
Yeah.
Let's start that all again.
Judge Dredd ripoff.
Judge Death.
Judge Death. Sorry, but yeah. There's 8 issues in this.
Oh, so it's even more than what we thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we still got 3 issues. So there's plenty of time for that story to kick on over like that. So
well, and he'll do another volume. I was telling John one time when I reviewed this, he can take as much time as he needs to put a story together. I don't care if it's 4 more years from now until I get another 8 issues, because when those 8 issues come out, they're perfect.
Yeah. Agreed. Like, he's just been nailing it the whole time.
Yeah.
And
I know I love the last arc with Azrael being like the big bad, and I was happy with that, especially the figures that they put out with the Todd McFarlane figures. I actually have the Azrael back here on my shelf there. If you notice, no more pop figures pretty much up on the behind me.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at the Dr. Fate helmet.
Dr. Fate.
That's pretty fucking badass. So
I'm not sure why you're not wearing it during this, this show, but
it won't go over the headphones, probably.
Yeah, it will not go over the headphones.
Dr. Fate helmet with the headphones on the outside, even if it's not functional at all, would be hilarious.
Oh, it's functional. I can wear it.
Oh no, with the headphones outsid being.
No, you should do it right now. Is what he's trying to tell you to do. Like, just go put it on.
My favorite issue.
Well, to be fair, my mic's over here, so it's a standalone mic, so I can talk. You just probably wouldn't hear me very well. So
do it.
Okay.
Do it. Go do it. Go do it right now.
Do
it. Yes.
Toga.
Peer pressure rules. Chips. Wait, no. Beer. One of my favorite movies ever. Oh,
yes, man. That is great. That doesn't light up. Does it? Is that what you're telling me right now? Oh my god!
Oh,
that's even better. Yep. I would be going to job interviews with that on.
Yeah, right.
I don't even want the job. I just want somebody to be like, "Hey, come on in for an interview," and I just show up that way.
Right?
It'd
That's
be amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, this was where's their card here? I have their card. These guys were at the con floor. I have
Now,
their thing in here somewhere.
have you guys been watching the House of Dragons?
Nope. Don't care.
I'm kind of behind on 2 episodes. I'm kind of not feeling it because that seems. Ooh.
It was okay up until this recent one, and then they do this time jump. No spoilers, really. They do a time jump, and there's different actresses, and it's just like it just throws it all off. It was really a bummer. The Lord of the Rings has been really good.
I haven't watched that.
I'm 1.5 episodes in, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is just as slow as the Silmarillion." But I heard after like episode 3, I guess it picked up. So yeah. I'm off next week, so I'm just gonna try to binge through the rest of it and get caught up. And
I was gonna say I would do a review on the Munsters because that came out yesterday.
Yeah,
but
I saw that. I just saw that, and I was like, Justin.
To be fair, we found out we switched Xfinity accounts. We don't get Netflix anymore. We were getting free Netflix through our old Xfinity. And our new Xfinity, we only get Peacock free. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
You can watch Quantum Leap.
True. And I can watch pro wrestling.
Actually, pretty good, actually.
Like
I can tell you that because it sounds like you're a fan of the original, that outside of it being in color,
cool.
Just as silly.
Well, then we're gonna watch that tomorrow night in the hotel while after setup. That's what we'll do.
Yeah,
we'll get a pizza, take it back to the hotel, and we'll fucking watch the Munsters.
There you go. Well, Sharon Moon is Lily Munster, is she not?
I'm not sure who
I think it has to be because every time Rob Zombie makes something, his wife's got to be like the main female.
Yeah,
show off my hot wife.
I mean, she's not young enough to be Marilyn anymore.
True. But for someone who's over the age of 50, she looks damn good.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not saying she's not.
Yeah.
I'm just
she doesn't look 20 anymore.
So I guess we should probably talk about much they don't want to talk about it. The Deadpool 3 announcement. We kind of talked about it before we got on air.
I want to talk about 2 Deadpool things.
Tim had me add that or name this episode
190 Hugh.
I spun it a little bit further and called it 90's Hugh.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of feeling the same way. I mean, I'm sure it'll be great. I'm hopeful that we'll get, a blue and yellow costume or a brown and yellow costume, something that's more comic book accurate. But this is just a last hurrah as Deadpool's going to get plopped into the MCU. So they're not going to go with Hugh Jackman. I mean, he's too old to use him as Wolverine moving forward.
It's going to be the multiverse of madness or quantum.
That was kind of my thought.
It's going to be something that, again, remember we left off at Deadpool 2 with him being able to access
time travel.
So you could put any amount of possibility out there. And they even said it's not going to be Logan. So I'm thankful that they kind of did say in that second video that they put out, this is not Logan. This is not like,
because
that still happens.
Yeah, so this is just before.
Yeah, this is like years before. So I'm cool with that because I personally liked Logan, although all of a sudden I'm seeing a ton of hate for Logan. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I remember people loving this movie. And then they're like, oh, X-23 was stupid. Oh, Hugh Jackman was old. Oh,
The
we don't
movie was
get
perfect.
it. And I'm like, for a Fox movie, I was like, that was probably one of the better Fox movies that got put out involving X-Men in any way, shape, and form. I'm like, yes, there wasn't a comic book based totally on this, and I understand that it's, it's not exactly the way you guys would have hoped, but if this was a standalone movie, people would have been like, it was awesome for what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, after crappy Origins and the okay,
you could just say Fox, and that will cover everything. I think
it got better. It started off as crap, and then it became like an okay movie, and then it was a very good movie.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about Logan still?
Things. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about Logan. Origins was bad.
I'm talking about Origins, and then Wolverine Origins, and then Logan. It's like the just Wolverine movies got better and better.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, if you take the Silver Samurai part out, like that end fight, I thought that movie was really good up until that point.
Yep. Yeah. Up until the actual fight with Silver Samurai, you are correct.
Yeah.
And then they butchered it. Yeah.
Yep.
If they had a legit Silver Samurai and not a stupid cyborg, it would have been fine.
Yep.
If they just said, "Here's a mutant with Silver Samurai," I could have been down with that. The fact that they had to make it a dumb robot is what I had the issue with.
Yep. Well, that was most of it, but yeah. Well, I mean, there were some small stuff in Logan that I didn't like either, but it was not enough for me to not enjoy the movie, right?
Yeah.
But I thought they did a hell of a good job with X-23 in it. And we'll see. But if I counted though, and if he's actually going to be Wolverine again, this will be the 12th time that he will be Wolverine. I'm sorry, 13th time if you don't count, or if you do count his cameo in the other Wolverine or the other Deadpool. This will be the 13th movie.
Okay.
Is that a record for
the
same actor?
One character? For the same character?
One actor playing the one character.
Probably.
No, there was somebody in the current MCU that had been in like, it was like 20 different appearances or something. I don't remember.
I know Robert Downey's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Like he's over 10. I imagine he's over like 10.
It's got to be him or Chris Evans, because Chris Evans did a bunch of those
true.
Those cameos in like Spider-Man.
Well, you got Nick Fury. Nick Fury.
Hey, also you could put Peggy Carter in there too, because she's been in a lot of MCU.
Even Black Widow was in quite a few after Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's probably a bunch. I don't really want to.
Like if you're going by original OG Avengers MCU, like Mark Ruffalo, of course, is like very last because he was an original Hulk to begin with. So he was late to begin with.
So that deal is what they can use the Hulk, they just can't have a solo Hulk film.
Correct.
I think they fixed that. To be
fair, it's still.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's still going on. Okay. We were looking at it the other day. Unfortunately, it's still.
Okay.
I don't think it pertains to She-Hulk stuff, but yeah.
That sucks. That's a shame that it's like Universal still trying to stranglehold. It's like if you just give a little, I'm sure they would compensate. They would get compensated fairly.
Yeah, I think that's how they'll. I think Disney Plus is probably how they'll get around it. You can do something with the Hulk.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that are just aching for Wolverine versus Hulk or World War
Hulk. Incredible Hulk is not on Disney Plus though. You cannot watch just Incredible Hulk.
Oh, you can?
The cartoon series you can.
Nope. Oh, not the movie though. Not the
movie.
Oh, yeah. I could care less.
Like when I did the rewatch a couple months ago, that movie and then all
they
the
were on
Spider-Man
Netflix.
Movies are not on there.
They were on Netflix, yeah. Now, do you want to talk about the other Deadpool thing?
Sure.
The other Deadpool thing is that, which is, I love it. is that Don Simpson has had an amazing battle online on social media with human garbage Rob Liefeld, and it's been so much fun to read. I don't know if you guys have been following it.
I saw Tim Hibbert put stuff up on Facebook about.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and I kind of want to I wish we could just have Don come on and then not talk about it, because then all these people would watch so they could try and get something, the Rob Liefeld fans, so they could get something, and then we would give them nothing. But
well, here's the thing though, like he knows Rob, like he worked with Rob, for a long time. And everybody has their fan favorites and their non-fan favorites and shit. Like I personally think Rob Liefeld cannot draw for shit. But I enjoy some of them because of how stupid they look. It makes it fun. But I think it's crazy that people do that to each other in general. So, but
I don't know what he was. What did he say, Don? Basically, it was the cover for Whatnot that Rob Liefeld did.
Wasn't it Amazing Spider-Man something?
It was a Spider-Man one. Let me see if I have it. Hold on.
It wasn't it like the Sinister Six, and their teeth looked awful. Something like they were all smiling, and it was really.
Well, it was the Sinister Shit, is what it was. So here you go. So this is it.
That's too much teeth there.
Now,
like, I'm cool with Venom's teeth, but Dr. Otto and the Green Goblin's teeth. Oh my God.
Venom's teeth would be cool if they were attached to a jaw that was attached to a neck, but they're not.
Right. They're just coming out of his upper torso. It's very interesting.
And this is a tribute. He self-tributed or homage to his New Mutants 98. That's what this is.
Yeah.
And it's, how did you do 30 years later, or whatever it is, the thing that you originally did, Rob Liefeld, there's your arrogance after me, and you made it worse. Say, like,
can you go in on Spider-Man's knees?
Yeah.
Like, like what the fuck is that?
I like how he has huge calves, awesome. And his knees are like
right. He's like, I bought a thigh
testicles.
I've been using Mary Jane's Thigh Master, and I've just completely done this, and then but my knees are shriveled because I had them replaced. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like what the fuck?
I don't want
to be a one-upper, but I'm gonna. Let's talk about what the hell is going on with Venom's leg.
Oh,
that is that his leg?
That's his leg.
Jeez, so they just cut it off.
Pull up a New Mutants 98 though. I want to see if the legs are cut off on that too. I don't have mine readily available. So
they look like elephant feet. It's like elephant feet where they're just flat.
Right? He doesn't have feet. He just has club,
Wow.
I'm looking.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. I think he probably started it off as a who the hell homages himself kind of jab at his buddy, and then it just went off the rails.
All right.
That's my guess.
Wow.
All right.
I don't hate this. It's small. I don't hate this cover. It is not. Look, it's very thin leg.
Okay. So
this is not terrible.
Going on Deadpool's legs. Go all to his knees.
Okay. Yeah.
So an issue.
So at least the whole leg is
skinny,
malnourished, right?
Yeah.
It's basically like bone in a unitard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. So again, how did you make it worse? Yeah.
He's like, well, Spider-Man's got to have bigger.
Look at this. Tell me this
legs.
isn't going to haunt your every waking nightmares. Jesus Christ.
At least that's a face, though. That's a proper face.
Right?
I mean, look at this.
Look at Green Goblin.
This?
Look, he has teeth attached.
Right.
You cannot have teeth like that
Yeah.
with no lines. You can't do that. That's not a
these
mouth.
eyes. There's like 3 trillion lines that serve zero purpose whatsoever.
I don't
It
have
makes
the
it look
issue
like
with
he has
the
a
eyes.
furry face. You
I
know what's
don't know how to
weird?
draw a stomach, so I just made it all black and it's concave.
Right?
It's Ethiopian Spider-Man.
Yeah. Same.
So what's even more bizarre is this cover is supposed to be a Sinister Six, but there's only 5 of them. And
well,
and even on 98, there are 6 characters. So this 6th character is Otto Octavius's fucking
no.
That
actually, it's not.
No, isn't that Mysterio's?
The Mysterio is there.
Oh, never mind. You're right.
It's just hidden because the purple for Mysterio's like collar blends right into the hat.
Otto's big
Green Goblin.
You're right. You're right.
Front of
and
Mysterio.
This small circle here just looks like a space that we were gifted where there's no Rob Liefeld art.
You know
whatsoever.
You know what's missing from that Mysterio and why I didn't notice? Teeth.
Talents. what would it be?
Is that zombie Mysterio?
Tim, can you just draw me some teeth on there? That'd be.
Look at this. What is this mohawk, light mohawk of garbage that's coming out of Venom's head with a tentacle right here? You know. Oh my God.
Go back down to Mysterio and draw me some teeth on this bad boy. Draw me some Rob Liefeld teeth. Draw me some teeth on there. Yeah.
Can I do this? Hold
on.
I gotta see how I can't remember how I did that. Whiteboard. No, cancel. Oh yeah, here we go. Got it. Pen, color. There we go. What am I drawing here?
Some Rob Liefeld teeth right on the Mysterio helmet. You need some teeth.
Wait a second. Come on. You son of a bitch.
There you go.
Hold on. Wait. And then you're going to do color those in. And then.
You know what this looks like? This looks like Rob Liefeld's tribute to his own title. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to make it look like DC's Joker. Only really
there
bad.
You go. See, now I would have noticed him because now he has.
I didn't stay with it.
Damn it!
Oh my!
Well, that's it for me. I'm spent on that.
Shall we?
I think I'm spent on everything because we're running a little long here.
Well, should we comment about the whole Blade situation real quick though?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Go ahead.
So what we hear that the director has dropped down. He's not out. He's down. He's an executive producer now,
and
which basically means less responsibility. So he's not involved as heavily.
I don't think that's what it is. I think what they're doing with executive producer is he has put the last year and a half into creating everything that they're about to film. You know, the look of everything, you know, the story. And I think they're just basically saying he's executive producer. He's going to be credited as executive producer because of all that work that he did leading up to this. Yeah. That's what I'm taking it. Because we know how many times Steven Spielberg just gets executive producers thrown into something just because he's Steven Spielberg, you know, that he probably doesn't have a hand in.
Well, it's also what it's only a 90-page script, which is really light.
90 pages.
That's very, very light.
Even I'll write that tonight.
Especially for Marvel.
Page a minute. There must either be a lot of fighting or a lot of shots.
That me and Justin both were talking about this. They said that there's supposedly two very lackluster fight scenes in the entire movie.
Okay.
Which makes that like what, Blade 2?
Yeah. We're just going to call it like
what's Blade 3? Blade 2
what,
actually
No,
had a
Blade
lot of
3, I actually enjoyed the action.
Yeah,
scene.
I didn't mind Blade 3 actually.
Blade 2 were really bad action sequences, especially when you had. Yeah, that was the point though. Is like you get 5 minutes of dialogue, and then it's like, okay, we're just gonna make things explode everywhere. But what's the story about? It don't matter. Vampires eating vampires. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do.
So
Yeah.
as
Like a
of
Michael
right
Bay
now,
movie.
as
Yeah,
of right
Michael
now,
Bay
it's just
did that.
we're just going to call it butter knife until it gets better.
There you go.
So
instead of a blade.
yeah.
So what? We're only gonna look forward to the next
until then.
upcoming comic
Ladle.
book stuff.
Ladle.
Is what?
Well, they
Black
got
Adam's
Black
coming
Panther.
up here.
Oh yeah, Black Adam.
Yeah. Black Adam, Black Panther, and
well, it's Rock Adam. Here,
right.
Still gonna be way. It's gonna be one of the better movies.
I'm more excited for JSA part of it than I am for Black Adam.
Yeah.
So
same. Did you guys watch the new Quantum Leap at all?
No, I won't watch it. I have too much love for the original, and I know they tie into it, but no thanks.
Okay, so firstly, it is a sequel to it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it's like they took the original show and then added like a CSI end on it. So like the part where it's about the leap and having to do the new like the good deed and blah blah, all that is exactly the same.
Okay.
Like force fed lead the thing to where you need it to be, right? But then there's this whole different extra end with Ernie Hudson, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you find out at the end of the first episode they're hunting Al's daughter. And she was working with the dude who's the new leaper to get to a very specific date and time. But no one knows why it's that specific date and time except the dude who leaped, but now he has Swiss cheese memory or Swiss cheese brain, so he can't figure it out and they need to know what's going on. So while the original stuff is very kind of like the original style storytelling is kind of boring, like that's the more boring part. The other side, like the backstory thing, is actually like kind of intriguing. But I really dug it, and they talk about how like Al died a year ago, which Dean Stockwell died a year ago. And they full on show Sam Beckett in his face, like they show his face like in the very first episode, like and like Gushy is still the computer, and there's another thing that was similar to the other one, but it definitely has the vibe of the original series. It's just got that extra back part that's kind of dirtier that I like. So fans of the old, check it out. I recommend it. At least check it out. It's only 2 episodes in right now, so
books. Check it out. Sorry, I couldn't. I'm tired.
Sorry. All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps up the rest of the show, right, guys?
The rest of the year with that episode. Yeah.
Tim will be back in 2023. Bye, Tim. No. No, come on. This is a lot of fun.
I'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Three's
it is
company.
good to have you back. Just so you know.
Thank you.
I do
good
enjoy
to be
it.
back.
Yes.
Coming back on Joe.
Are you singing Welcome Back?
Hers and his, Three's company too. All right. Well, anyways.
Okay. I thought you were singing Welcome Back, Cotter.
No.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh. I was singing Three's Company because 3 of us. So.
Sure.
Fair.
All right.
All right.
Well,
go ahead.
Thursday Warriors, thank you so much for sticking it out, Ron. Yeah.
Maybe Dan. I don't know. I can't see the chat.
Yeah, Dan might be here too. Yeah. So there's 5.
Our 2 hardcore followers. Thank you. Yeah,
There's actually 5 people watching tonight. So
there we go.
Well, I'm one of
to
them.
my brothers
so
that I text before the show. What's that?
I said there's 4 because I'm watching one of them.
Oh, okay. Well, to Ron and my brothers that I text before the show, thanks for watching.
You know what? We still get like 30 views and later reviews, so that's all that matters to me. So some people care. So
yeah, we try. We try.
Well, make sure you come and see Justin and I in Canton this Saturday, or you can go down to the waterfront CTM this weekend and check out some voice actors and pay for some autographs and check them out. They seem like really nice people, and I wish I could go.
Get your tickets for the comic swap on the 23rd. $5.
Yep. And next week you should hopefully be able to buy those tickets at any New Dimension Comics. We're helping those guys out of pop culture. They're great guys.
Yes.
And also make sure you go check out Evil Dead the Musical all month, starting this weekend down at the West End Canopy. One of those weekends, me and my fraternity brothers are actually ushering. And it is, if you've never seen Evil Dead the Musical, you should, because it is hilarious.
It is awesome.
It's like it is like if
don't do it. Make it quick. I'm dying.
It's very much so like a Rocky Horror vibe to it. They even have their own dance. It's called the Necronomicon.
Yep.
Hey, they do their best Henry Winkler. Hey.
It holds a special place in my heart because that was me and my wife's first date. She took me to see the Evil Dead musical, and she was like, "Splash zone or non-splash zone?" I did non-splash zone because I wasn't sure what that meant. Yes. And boy, was there a lot of splash in the splash zone.
Yep. So. All right. We will see everybody next week. And thank you again so much, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.